Hi everyone, Professor Kermanian here. I will be teaching your Learning Frameworks course. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is this course about? And so I'm here on the home page of our course, and it gives our course description, but it's about so much more than that. And so the best way that I can describe it to you is just by telling you the 3 goals that I have for you guys this semester. And so the first goal is that we would improve our knowledge of ourselves. And so self-awareness is so key when it comes to being successful in college and in life. And so the more that we know about ourselves, what are our blind spots? What are those weaknesses we need to work on? What are those strengths, and how can we capitalize on those strengths? Those things are so important. The next goal that I have for you guys is that we would get to know each other. It's so important to build community in your classrooms. A lot of these people will be people that you may want to use as a job reference in the future, especially your professors or other classmates that are going into the same career field as you. And so community is something that's really important. And so every week we'll be participating in discussions, and that'll be a really great opportunity to kind of get to know each other's viewpoints and how everybody else is processing this information that we're covering. The third goal that I have is that you guys would acquire tools and strategies that will help you be successful not only in college and life. Life is full of transitions, as many of you have already started to experience. And so making a solid transition between high school and college, or making a solid transition between just a part-time job and a professional career, or even from college to a professional career. All those kind of transitions are so key in our lives, and it's really important for us to make them in a strong way and be able to adapt easily to different things. And so I'm hoping that as you guys go through this course, you'll find some valuable tools that will help you. If you look over here on the left-hand menu, you'll see our syllabus, modules, grades, people, and student resources. The student resources are any kind of resources we offer for you guys as students. One key thing I'll mention is we do offer online tutoring. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're confused about a particular class, you can sign up for tutoring, and it can be done remotely online. And so that's a great resource to utilize. The main thing that I'm going to cover here is modules. This is really where the meat of our course is. And so if you go into modules, you'll see there's some beginning information. We do not actually have a book required for this course. As you'll see here in Module 1, I'll have readings posted. And so in each module, what you're going to see is a checklist. And this checklist, if you click on it, it's going to show you everything that we have to do this first week of class. And so from Monday to Sunday, this is what we'll need to do. There's also a video just to kind of give you an introduction to this week's topic. And then if I click back on modules, I can go back to week 1. In week 1, I have 2 readings posted. They're PDFs. You can either click on them to download them, just like right up here, or you can read and take notes as you go. I would highly recommend, whatever you do, that you make sure that you're taking notes as you go, because the content that you find in the reading is what you're going to be answering questions about on the midterm and the final exam. And so the readings are crucial. And then after you've done the readings, there's also a discussion board each week. So all 8 weeks there'll be a discussion board. And the discussion boards are always due on Thursdays, except with the exception of the week of Thanksgiving, that discussion board will be due on a Friday. And with the exception of the last week of class, that discussion board will be due on a Wednesday. And so it's really important when you guys do the discussions, there'll be instructions at the top. There might be a video to watch. There may be there's some questions that you need to answer. For the discussion, you need to make an original post where you reply to my prompt. And it needs to be in at least 200 words or more. Okay, so, and then you have to go back and make 2 responses to 2 of your classmates. When you respond to your classmates, or when you answer my questions, don't just say, oh, this was great. Like, give us some details about why it was so great. Give us examples from your life about, what you've seen. What do you believe this information? All this kind of thing. When you go back to respond to your classmates, don't just say, wow, I really agree with you. Tell them why you agree with them. Have you had an experience that makes you believe that, yeah, this is true? Okay. So if you can ask a question to make the discussion, just carry it forward, or even if you can give some kind of life experience that you've had where you're like, this is proven true for me, or I don't believe this because I haven't experienced that. Let us know those things. So 3 posts every week. Make sure that they're done within the time frame because the discussion boards close and they don't reopen. So then also in week 1, we have an application assignment. Every week you'll have an application assignment to do. This week you're going to do this student success assessment. I have it posted in the module as a PDF. You can either print it off or use your notebook to answer the questions. But basically what you're going to do is on a scale of 1 to 5, you're going to answer each of these areas. So if it's 0% of the time, you put a 1, 25 is a 2, 50 is a 3, 75 is a 4, and then if it's 100% of the time, you'd put a 5. And so these statements, 1 through 5, once you finish one section, you're going to get your total score. That's what you're going to need to bring back to answer on the assignment, is all 18 of your total scores. Okay, so I'm going to go back to modules, scroll back down to module 1. Then when we get to this pre-assessment and reflection, this is where you're going to submit that first assignment. And so the first assignment, you're going to see it has room for you to post all of your 18 areas, and then down here it has some questions. I'm going to click up here where it says resubmit assignment, but for you guys it'll say submit assignment. And then once you click that, you're going to have 2 choices, either upload or text entry. And so either way, whatever you choose, if you want to type it up in Word or Google Docs and then upload it, you can. Or if you want to use the text entry box, you can. Okay, so I'm just going to open this text entry box and paste my instructions. That way I don't have to keep scrolling up and down. I've got them all here, and then I can answer my questions. So you'll post all 18 scores, and then you're going to answer these questions. The first 2 questions, I say write 5 to 7 sentences. I'm looking for critical thinking here. And so don't just give me fluff, okay? If you scored high in money management, tell me why you scored high in money management. Maybe you've had a piggy bank since you were a child, and maybe you grew up in a family full of savers. Maybe you're weak in support resources. Maybe you grew up really independently and you have trouble asking for help. And so please make sure that you tell me, what and why and how you're going to do something and all this kind of thing. So give me some critical thinking here. The last question, now that you have this information, how are you going to use it this semester? Well, it doesn't have a sentence count, but I'm still looking for critical thinking here. Once you've finished, you're going to click Submit Assignment, and the assignment will be submitted. And then if you're curious about it, of course you can always go over here and click on Submission Details, and it will show you what you have submitted. So now I'm going to go back to modules. There's one last thing in Module 1, and it's our core assessment assignment project. And so it's just the instructions for that, just some basic instructions just to give you guys a heads up. This is coming up in week 7. Week 2 is exactly the same. There's a checklist, there's 2 readings, there's a discussion, and there's an application assignment. Discussions due on Thursday, application assignments due on Sunday. And then week 3, it's going to be one extra thing. You're going to have to come up with your assessment assignment topic project. And so this could be anything related to those 18 areas that we did on the pre-assessment. So let's say you picked reading. You could talk about dyslexia. Let's say you talked about health. You can talk about anything. The example project that I have is about stress, which is related to health. And so just think of whatever you're interested in, how you can delve deeper into that and present that to our class. Week 4 is a little different because we'll have our midterm, so you'll need to make sure you've gotten through all the readings 1 through 4, weeks 1 through 4, to do well in the midterm exam. Okay, the midterm opens Saturday of week 4 and closes Tuesday of week 5. We have week 5. There's one difference in week 5. You'll have to submit project resources in MLA or APA format. You need 3. And this is great because if you do it now, then you won't have to do it later whenever you're actually doing your project. You can just go back and copy and paste. Week 6, this is actually the week of Thanksgiving. And so our discussion this week is due on a Friday. I would love it if everybody would try to do it early, just because, after you get in that turkey coma, it's kind of hard to think clearly. And we have an application assignment due that Sunday. Week 7, this is our last, we'll still have readings, we'll have a discussion board, but this is the last week that you'll have to do your assessment assignment project. So you'll need to submit that. I'm just going to open this up really quick just to show you. These are those same instructions from week 1, but then I've added additional instructions on how you're actually going to do your video. And so the same type of video that I'm doing right here is what you guys will do for your assessment assignment project. And I've posted an example project and example video, just kind of explaining what I'm looking for. And then we're going to go down to the final module, which is week 8. In week 8, there is one key thing to keep in mind. All of our assignments are going to be due on Wednesday. So we have our course wrap-up discussion. You need to do both your readings and your post-assessment and reflection. This is that same assessment we did in week 1. You'll need to retrieve your scores from Module 1 by opening that assignment and getting your before the course scores, and then redo the assessment and post your after the course scores, and there'll be some questions that you'll have to answer just about your improvement and that kind of thing. There's an extra credit assignment. It's optional. I highly recommend for anyone who needs a cushion or a bump for their grade. And then our final exam opens the Saturday of week 8, or week 7, actually that Saturday, and then it closes that Thursday. And December 6th is the last day of class. So all these assignments are due on December 5th, and then we'll have our final exam. Or if you want to do your final exam ahead of time, you're certainly free to do that as well. So anyway, that's our course. If you guys ever have any questions or you need anything, I'm just a Canvas message away, and so just feel free to message me. I'm going to show you guys just this is our menu here, and yeah, there's the inbox. You just click on it, click on our class, and you can message me. Anyways, I'm excited to go on this journey with y'all, and I hope you learn a lot, and I'm glad to have you in my class. Thank you so much.